Today I'm going to be walking you through the big set at the Elk Grove Bike Park in Northern California. And there's a few of us that have been rebuilding this during the winter. And right now that it's closed, we're trying to get it dialed in a little bit more. But I wanted to go ahead and walk you through the line because I think this is one of the best sets for BMX or dirt jumpers in California right now. It's really fun. There's a lot of good parks in California. Like the Tahoe area has really good ones in Southern California too, but this one is really fun for just if you like steep jumps and going high. So here's the first jump. You go ahead and roll in on the roll in. You just take one pedal up there, and then you come off the lip here, which is maybe like 3 feet tall. It's not very big, but it's downhill, so it gives you a lot of speed. It's probably like a 5 foot gap. Shoots you over really well. So, and then there's this one right here. So that's the landing. And like I said, if you land on that landing good, it sets you up for the next one really well. This jump is probably like 6 feet high, pretty steep, with probably about like a 10 foot gap. The landing is a good 6.5 feet tall, I'd say. Really fun jump. Like I said, it's really easy to make it over as long as you land on that first one clean. This landing kind of crumbled during the rain last week, so it's going to need all patched up, but we have water out here. There's a hose system, which is nice, so you can patch it. So that's kind of what we're doing while it's closed. And then here is the third jump. Again, this lip is probably a little taller, maybe like 6.5 feet tall. Gap is about the same. This landing's a little taller. But again, if you make that second one clean, it sends you over this one really easily. And then you come down in here to kind of like one of the more technical features, which is a double roller. So with this double roller, you can either just jump the whole thing like a long and low, or you can manual it and pump it, and it gives you a lot of speed, which is nice. So it's kind of cool because it gives you a couple different options you can do on that. And then it comes on over here to the fourth jump. This lip is again probably like 6 feet tall, and this is where the line splits in half, so I'll go ahead and show you that now. So this is our drainage. So this landing looks massive from down here. From down here, it's probably a good 8-9 feet tall, but as you can see, it's brought up a little bit, so the landing still is big, but not as big as when you're in this drainage system. So there's the landing there. You come around into this roller. It's pretty mellow, but you can still pump it. Into this jump here, again, this lip's probably like 6 feet tall with a 10-12 foot gap. Nice big landing. You can go that way, or you can go right off the fourth jump and then hip into here. Again, this landing kind of crumbled in the rain a little bit, so it's gonna have to be patched up. So you can come on here, hip to the right, and then you hit this jump. Again, they're all relatively like 6.5 feet tall lips. This one's more of a step up, so the gap's a little shorter. Landing is very mellow. It's pretty easy to make it over it. This landing needs some serious work, but right now it does work as is, but I want to kind of redo this landing because it's ugly and it's very bumpy. And then it comes down to here. So if you hit the right line, I really like it because you can hit this 90-degree hip, which is one of my favorite jumps here. This lip's a little taller. This is probably like 7 foot. Very small gap. It's maybe like a 4 foot gap if you cut it close, or if you get a bunch of speed, you can gap out, you know, to like 8 feet or so if you land on the far side of that landing. And it comes on into here, so you lose a lot of speed on that thing. So this jump is very small. It's like a tabletop roller. The lip is still tall, but the gap is super short. But which is nice is you can also come around the BMX track there, do this roller, and then hip into the line that way. I took a lot of figuring out for this jump just because that 90-degree hip takes a lot of your speed, but it's worth it because that jump's awesome. So because you can see that gap is not very big. It's maybe like a 5 foot gap. Then coming over back to the left side, you can go ahead and hip off that last jump too, to the right. I guess this isn't the last jump, but the last jump for right now, because you're gonna come down into here to this berm. And then there isn't a lip built there yet, so you kind of end at the berm. And then there's a landing for the 90-degree hip line. So that still needs to be built. We're trying to figure out what to do with that, just because it's a lot of dead space. So we want to put a roller there, but we want to also move this landing back more, just because it's at a weird angle there. And then here is the far left side that we just finished up. Nice wide landing. That landing's a good 15 feet wide, I'd say. Yeah, probably about 15 feet. And then you come down in here to this roller. Nice and big roller. Into the final jump, was just kind of like a hip. We just finished this thing, so, and a couple of people tried it and it works well, so it's pretty awesome. I'll go ahead and show you the back side of it. So this lip, again, roughly 6 feet tall. From down here it's a little taller. As you can see, it's angled. So you come down there, pump that roller, and then this gap is like 7 feet maybe for the smallest part, maybe 12 feet if you hit it at the far end. We're still working on this landing. It is patched, but we kind of just roughly got it shaped. Just needs to be all smoothed out and a little bit more dirt on top. And then once you land there, you come into the berm. Come around the berm. There's this little tiny gap jump here into this weird step up thing. You can do this little step up right there, or you can go to the left, do the roller, and then pump the rollers back to the top. So that's the big line. I'll go bike park. If you are into big jumps, well, I guess they're good size. Depends on what you think is big. I think they're pretty big. Really good for tricks. So if you ride BMX dirt jumpers, any sort of thing, definitely come ride this place. We're getting it dialed in, and I think a lot of people that like riding jumps are going to enjoy it. They flow really well, don't take much effort, easy to trick, and yeah, we got water out here, so those should be pretty dialed in. And I'll probably make a couple more videos just showing the progression of this place. I just like documenting it just because it's cool to see the progress of this place. And yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff, stay tuned.